Lumo entered the world too early. He was born small, his body fragile, his cries thin as the mewing of a kitten. The midwives exchanged looks of doubt. He may not last the night, one whispered, but his mother Nila held him close and refused to let go. She wrapped him in a soft cloth, placed him near a clay lamp for warmth, and whispered prayers over his tiny body. Against all odds, he survived, but survival was not the same as strength. As the years passed, the villagers saw that Lumo was unlike other children. His bones were narrow, his chest weak. When he tried to carry a jar of water, his arms shook violently, and sometimes he dropped it halfway home. When he tried to lift firewood, his knees buckled, and he fell into the dust. The other children laughed at him. Featherbone they called, Wind Boy, the breeze will carry you away. Each evening ended the same. His mother rubbed his aching shoulders with warm oil while he cried quietly. She would whisper, "The spirits will not forget you, my son. One day the river will wash away your weakness." But even she began to wonder if her words were only comfort, not truth. The seasons turned, and Lumo's weakness clung to him like a curse. He could not help much in the farms. He could not climb trees to pluck fruits. Even simple play among the children ended in shame. One evening, after failing yet again to carry home a jar of water, Lumo sat by the river. The clay jar had spilled, leaving only wet dust on the road. His arm trembled, his chest heaved, and his face burned with tears. "Why was I born this way?" he whispered, his voice breaking. The rivers flowed calmly, but its ripples began to shimmer strangely. Then, from the heart of the water, a glow rose. The waves lifted as though a great being was emerging, and out of them stepped a figure. She was tall, her bronze skin shining in the fading sunlight. Her skin flowed like the dark current of the river, and her eyes held depths older than time. "Child," she said, her voice like water running over stone, "why do you cry into my waters?" Lumo froze. "Who are you?" "I am the keeper of this river. Some call me goddess, some call me mother, but I have heard your sorrow, and I have come." Lumo's lips trembled. "I am weak. Everyone laughs at me. I cannot help my mother. I am nothing." The goddess bent closer. "Nothing. The river does not mock the seed before it grows. The stone does not mock the stream before it smooths. You are not nothing. You are unfinished. Would you accept strength if I give it?" His heart pounded. He nodded. She dipped her hand into the water and drew out a glowing stone, smooth and white. She pressed it into his hands. "Eat this," she said. "The river will flow in your veins. But remember, strength is a gift. Use it with wisdom, or it will destroy you." Lumo swallowed the stone. It was cold in his mouth, but when he slid down his throat, fire spread through his body. His arms steadied, his chest filled his breath, his legs no longer shook. The goddess smiled faintly. "Rise, Lumo, rise, and walk as the river walks, strong and unyielding." Then she sank back into the water and was gone. When Lumo returned home that night, his mother noticed something was different in his step. He carried the water jar easily without spilling a drop. The next day, he returned with 2 jars balancing on his arms. Her eyes widened, but she said nothing. Within days, the whole village knew. Lumo carried firewood larger than 3 men could lift. He chased a goat that had escaped and caught it with one hand. He pushed a heavy cat out of the mud as though it was a toy. The whisper spread quickly. "This is not natural," some muttered. "He has joined a secret cult," others insisted. The river gave him stress, a few whispered in shock. Children who once mocked him now ran away when he passed. Parents used his name to warn their children. "If you don't sleep, Lumo will come. Do your chores before Lumo finds you." Lumo never hurt anyone. He only used his strength to help. He lifted logs for the blacksmiths. He drove thieves away from farms. He helped women draw water from deep wells. Still, people were uneasy. His mother smiled with pride, though sometimes when the night was quiet, she looked at him with worry. "You are strong now," she said softly one evening, "but who will marry a boy who is stronger than all men?" Lumo lowered his eyes. He had no answer. Among the villagers was a girl named Sira. She was not loud like the others. She did not mock Lumo openly, but she had never spoken to him either. Like many, she had once believed he would not live long, but when he did, she kept her distance out of pity and fear. But now, she watched him quietly. She saw how he carried loads for widows. She saw how he never raised his voice, even when mocked. She noticed how he returned to the bush with the firewood, not just for his mother, but for neighbors too. Sira's heart stirred with something she did not understand. He was no longer the weak boy people laughed at. He was different, stronger, but also gentle. One afternoon, as Lumo lifted the broken bench for the village elders, Sira approached shyly with a calabash of water. "You should drink," she said softly. Lumo blinked, surprised. No girl had spoken to him like that before. He accepted the water, their fingers brushing briefly. "Thank you," he said. She smiled, then hurried away. But from that day, their paths seemed to cross often. At the stream, by the farms, near the parts where firewood was stacked, each time she spoke a little more, and Lumo found himself listening. The villagers noticed. They whispered again. "Why is Sira talking to him? He's too strong for her. He will hurt her one day. She's foolish to be near him." But Sira ignored them. She saw what they could not. One evening, as the sun sank low, she walked with Lumo from the fields. "Are you not tired of carrying everyone's burden?" she asked. He shook his head. "I know how it feels to be weak. I cannot turn away now that I am strong." Her eyes softened. "That is why I am not afraid of you." Lumo's chest tightened. No one had ever said such words to him. Day by day, their bond grew stronger. They talked, they laughed, they walked side by side, and slowly, Lumo allowed himself to believe that love was possible for him. Under the great tree near the river, Lumo one day gathered his courage. "Sira," he said, his voice trembling, "will you walk beside me not just for today, but for all my days?" Her eyes shone with tears. "Yes, Lumo, I will." Their wedding was simple but filled with joy. The entire village came. Even those who once mocked him now danced. His mother wept openly, her heart overflowing with relief. At last, Lumo was no longer alone. After the wedding, life settled into peace. Lumo and Sira walked together, laughed together, dreamed together. Yet sometimes at night, Lumo sat quietly by the river, remembering the goddess. One moonlit evening, he returned to the water's edge. The river shimmered, and once again she rose, tall and radiant. "You have used the gift well," she said. "Not for pride, not for cruelty, but for love and kindness. That is why it remains with you." Lumo bowed low and thanked her. Lumo walked home under the stars, his heart full. He had found strength, not only in his arms but in his spirit. He had found love in Sira's gentle eyes, and he had found peace in the knowledge that the spirits were with him. For the boy who was once weak had become more than strong. He had become whole, and that was more than enough.